Hi all, very good evening. Welcome to the session and this is Shahida Ismet. So today we are learning about equations and formula. And before starting the session, let me know whether is it clear or you're having any trouble with the connection. Can you all hear me?
Your voice is a little bit getting stuck.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, very good evening. And also feel free to ask any questions or doubt regarding the session at the end of this, okay? So, well, let's get started. So when it comes to equation and formula, usually people think both are the same. But in fact, whatever seems the same are not same. So today we are learning about the difference of equation and formula. What is an equation and what is a formula? When it comes to the equation or formula, it contains the same indexes and same unknown values. It may contain the same signs or symbols, but yet there are differences between equations and formula, and both are different from each other. So let's take a look at what are the difference between equations and formula. Well, so what is an equation? As the screen says, an equation is a way to say that one thing is equal to or the same value as the other. But simply, an equation says two things are equal. So what is on the left side is equal to what is on the right. So we can clarify the statement as this equals to that. So simply when we take A equals to A, then obviously you can see that what is on the left side is equal to what is on the right side. Anyways, A is equal to A. And also when it comes to an equation such like 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, you can obviously see 1 plus 2 is equals to 3. So what is on the left side is equal to what is on the right side. Though it is divided into 2, I mean as 1 plus and 2, though there are 3 indexes that which contains number 1 plus and 2, still it is equal to number 3. So that is an equation. And it will have an equal sign. Each and every equation contains an equal sign. As the example that which says x plus 2 is equal to 6. So when it comes to a formula, formula is a special equation that expresses an important relationship between variables, expressing commonly used ideas. And it will usually have an equal sign and two or more variables such like x, y, s, t, u, v, anything. Or it also may contain numbers and square roots or whatever that is. So two or more variables that stand in for values, we don't know it. For an example, we can say as s equals ut or v equals ut. Well, so before going deep down into the formula, let's clarify more about equation. And when it comes to an equation, each and every part contains a name, and also some index, we name them as indexes, and for some we say as solutions. It's the way we clarify and the way we write the equation in steps. Each and every line contains particular names, okay? And as I said, equation has equality symbol. Apart from that, it has unknown indexes and unknown values and numbers. And index means whatever that is unknown, the number or the letter or whatever that is generally named as an index, okay? And when it comes to equations, there are general rules of solving it. Now, even in the screen that which shows the example one as x plus 2 equals 6, this equation is completely solved and we have took a value for index that which called x. So now x has a value. So when it comes to the equation, whatever the unknown letter may be or whatever the unknown index may be, each and everything has a value. Okay, for an example, now let's say x plus 5 is equals to 10, then you are going to reduce that plus 5 from this plus 10. So when you reduce this plus 5 from plus 10, it's going to be 5 again. Then the value of x is 5. So whenever it comes to an equation, the unknown index and or the unknown letter contains a value. And apart from that, there are general rules and general ways of solving it. Okay. So the very first thing to do is simplify each side of the equation by removing or shifting terms side by side. Okay. And the second thing is use addition or subtraction to isolate the variable term on one side of the equation. And first equation we learn is simple equation. And before going deep down into how to solve the equation and get into the solution, let me explain what is a simple equation means, because the very first thing we are going to learn about equation is simple equations. So simple equation means any equations that which has only one unknown index. So in this example one, we can see only x is unknown. Now you know what is 2, you know what is 6, but here the x is completely unknown. So we are finding the value for x. Considering the clarification, the very first thing is you have to identify the signs in the equation. Now, in this example, you can clearly see plus an equation symbol is there, right? So these are the signs of the equation. So you have to identify the signs, and when you see all these signs, your mind should know what you should do in the next step. And in the second step, it says x equals 6 minus 2. And how come it be minus 2 from plus 2? So that is a question. And the way how we take plus 2 for minus 2 is whenever plus moves to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes minus. And whenever minus moves to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes plus. Okay. So that is a very important point. And since you all are in grade 6 and 7, you'll have to learn only about plus and minus. But when you'll grow up and in future, you have to know like how to change multiplication into division and then roots into square roots. So it depends. But now today we are learning how to change plus into minus and plus minus into plus. And that's super simple. It's like, whenever you take plus into the other side, it's going to be minus. And whenever you take minus into the other side, it's going to be plus. And by moving the numbers from the left to right or right to left, you should make the unknown index single. Okay. Now here you can see in the first line, it contains as x plus 2 equals 6. But in the second line, x is single in the left side and in the other side, both the numbers are there. So here, simply I took this plus 2 into the other side of the equation symbol. So it became minus 2. And when I took this plus 2 into the other side, x became single. So that is the important point. Like by moving the numbers from left to right or right to left, you should make the unknown index single. So here the unknown index is x. So now you made x single. And final answer will be displayed as you add or subtract. Now for an example, let's say it is x minus 2 equals 6. Then what you do is you put this minus 2 into the other side. So it will become plus 2. So then the value of x will be changed as 8. But now here it's plus 2, and simply because this is plus 2, when it goes to the other side, it becomes minus 2. So the value of x is 4. So how you take the final answer is depend on the sign that which they have given, whether it's plus as a solution of the equation. Like usually each and every problem has a solution, and just like that each and every equation has a solution, because we consider equation as problems. We are solving problems and finding the value of each and every unknown letter. Maybe it's x, maybe it's y, or maybe any other letters, right? Well, hope this part is clear for all. So there are 3 important things to understand when it comes to equations. So It's just like, I mean, above equation is called a simple equation. The reason is it has only one unknown index. So I told you all that the very first equation that we're going to learn today is simple equation. So simple equation means something that which has only one unknown index. Okay, it could be x, or it could be y, or it could be any other letter. And the second point is, by writing statements, it is easier to clarify equations, since each and every steps will bring more clarity. But now in the earlier equation that which we solved, it doesn't contain any statements. But then when it comes to exam papers, or when it comes to our textbooks, when we go through the questions, we can see there are questions that which looks like literally a very big paragraph, but when it comes to the answer is going to be too small, right? So never get scared seeing a very big question. Usually the very big question has small answers, just like very big problem has small solutions. It's just the way you see, and it's the way how you see it. The perspective is what matters. No matter how big the paragraph or how big the question may be, when you go deep down to that, you can literally find the answer for it, because answer is going to be inside that paragraph itself. It's the way how you think and how you look at the problem that matters, right? So hear me out. I'm going to read a question for y'all that which contains statements, so you'll get more clarity about it. Okay. Well, so the question is, and this question is taken from grade 7 book, but yet it's a very simple question. Even grade 6 can apply this for them, because it's a very simple one. The question is, a vendor had X mangoes. A vendor had X mangoes. Okay. A vendor means a person who sells anything. So the person who sells anything is called a vendor. So this is a person who sells mangoes, and he has X amount of mangoes. He bought another 24 mangoes. He now has a total of 114 mangoes. So now how will you write statements and clarify the equation? It's like, the vendor had X mangoes and he bought another 24 mangoes, and altogether he has 114 mangoes. So simply, he already had X amount of mangoes and he's buying another 24. And when he buys another 24, he is adding another 24 for that X. So it's going to be X plus 24. But in case, if in that paragraph, if they mention as he is selling another 24, selling means he's giving. So when he gives, what he has will be reduced. Reducing means you have to subtract. Then it's going to be X minus 24. But considering these questions, here it says that he is buying 24 mangoes and he is already having X amount of mangoes. And altogether, he has 114 including them. So simply how you construct the equation is X plus 24 equals to 114. So when you take this equation that which says X plus 24 equals 114, now here the unknown index is X. So X is the amount of mangoes he already had, and 24 is what he bought, and then 114 is the entire amount of mangoes he has. So the way of writing statement is, you can start it as the number of mangoes the vendor had initially. So initially he had X amount. So you can write the statement as the number of mangoes the vendor had initially equals X. And the second statement is the number of mangoes the vendor bought equals 24. And the third statement goes as the total number of mangoes the vendor has now. So when he had X and when he bought 24, then it's going to be X plus 24. Moreover, since the total number of mangoes the vendor has now is 114, and then you write the constructed equation as X plus 24 equals 140. So when you write statements and do equation, it's going to be super simple and it's going to be very easy, and then it will be very clear. So Then when you do it step by step, you'll understand how to construct a equation. Because when it comes to equation, the very first thing you learn is how to construct equations and how not how to solve equations. So once after you are learning how to construct, and then only you learn how to solve equations. Okay. And the third point is, keep in mind that whenever you convert a sign from plus to minus or minus to plus, you should take that particular number to the other side of the equality symbol. Okay. Because whenever you take that number to the other side of the equality symbol, it's going to be changed. I mean, the sign is going to be changed. Well, so moving to formula, then let's get a better idea about what is a formula. And it's all about developing a relationship. And already I told you all what is the difference between equation and formula, but then I did not go deep down into formula since I explained equation. So equation is something you can construct. Equation is not already constructed, but formula is something that which is already constructed and which you know already. So that is the difference of equation and formula. Because at any time you can construct a equation, you can go through a paragraph of a question, or you can just add things, subtract things, and somehow you can construct equations. So whatever you are constructing is called an equation, but formula is not like that. A formula is a fact or rule that uses mathematical symbols, and it shows how things are related to each other. And whenever it comes to find the area, perimeter, length, breadth, whatever it is, there's a particular formula for it. For an example, the way of finding area of rectangle. Now we all know how to find the area of the rectangle as we are multiplying length and breadth. So if there's a question that which says how to find the area of the rectangle, you are going to write as area equals length into breadth, right? And you just use the first initial letter of each and every word and you write it as a equals l into b. So this is already formed, and this is the relationship between l and b has with a. So these are formulas, and it's different from others because formula each and like everything has a formula to find something, find area, or find perimeter, or whatever that is. And especially in physics, there are a lot of formulas. You use the formula to find the solution for the problem. So formula is already like invented or discovered by someone else, someone greater. So in this example, now you all can clearly see a rectangle in green color that which has the length in 2b and the breadth is a. So area, how do we find area is we multiply length and the breadth together. And here the length is 2b and the breadth is a. So a and 2b is multiplied, and area, the very initial letter of the area is a. So simply we write it as a equals simple a into 2 simple b. I mean the area of the rectangle is formed that way. So when it comes to other rectangles, now let's say the length of the rectangle is 6 and the breadth of the rectangle is 4. Now you know how to find the area of the rectangle. So you simply multiply length and the breadth. So it's going to be 6 into 4 and it's going to be 24. So it's 24 square centimeters. Then now here there's a way how to find. So if you have a way to find, then that is a formula. Okay, but equation is completely different from that. Equation is not something you know already. Equation is something you construct and something anyone can construct. But formulas also came with that, but then it is officially said this is the way to find this. And also when it comes to a circle or when it comes to square, when you're finding, now let's say you're finding the area of the circle. So then there's another way. Then there's another formula you had. So there are a lot of formulas that which is already constructed by someone else. So we use that to solve the problem, and we use that as an easy way. So it is a source that we use. Something like, to drink a glass of water, you use the glass. So glass is already made. So you're not going to make a glass and drink the water. You're going to use the glass that which is already there and drink the water. So if you're using something that which is already there, then that is formula. But if you're constructing something like something newly, then it's going to be an equation. Okay. But in common, which both has, is that at the end of the time we are going to find the value of something unknown, something we don't know. Now here we are finding capital A, which means area, and in equation we are finding the unknown index. It could be x, y, or anything. So that is in common when it comes to equation and formula, and other than that it is different. So simply in equation and formulas, all we find is the unknown index which is given. And each and every unknown index has a value. Like I told you all earlier, now even in that area, the capital A has a value, the area has a value. So same like that, the unknown index that was in the very first example x, it also has a value. And the third point is moving positive or negative index to the other side of the equality symbol will give the opposite sign of the particular index. So if it's plus, it's going to be minus when it goes to the other side of the equality symbol. And if it's minus, when it goes to the other side of the symbol, sorry, equality symbol, it's going to be plus. And equations and formulas are algebraic expressions, that which literally means it contains a lot of unknown indexes. So it means an algebraic expression, and you have to solve it and you have to find the value of something. So simply all these are considered as algebraic expressions. And the more you practice, the more easier it becomes. You can't just directly go and solve formulas or equations. And when you are in grade 6 or 7, you will be learning the very first and the basic steps, such like, how to find the area of the square and how to find the area of the rectangle. But when you go, when you grow up and when you are going to grade 8 or 9 or 10, then you learn how to find the area and perimeter of the cylinders and circles, the triangles, and like that, step by step, it will increase. But you have to practice it all the time. The more you practice, the more you will get that ability to do it. And also, if you don't practice, you can't go and do a big one directly because you don't know the basic. It's like, at the very first stage, you learn what is A, and then you learn A to Z, and then you learn how to write two-letter words, then three-letter words, then you learn how to read them. And then little by little, you'll start improving, and then you will be able to read out an essay or paragraph, so whatever that is. So maths is also something same like that. Usually when it comes to maths, the general idea is people say that it's super hard, it's very hard, you can't understand things, you have a lot of problems to solve. No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing as people think. It's just the way you look at it that matters. It's your perspective. Even your life has a lot of problems, but you are not able to solve all of them. But then at least you have an idea how to solve it. So maths is the same. You don't have to know how to solve each and every problem. If you have an idea how to solve it, even if some, then still that counts, because even in the maths paper they're not asking you to do all the questions they have given. You can choose 5 from part A and 5 from part B, so it's going to be only 10 questions. So you don't have to solve each and everything. It's the little things, and it's the little things that you see. And also, finally, what I want to say all is the practice makes man perfect. So keep on practicing. And these are the simple basic things that which we learned about equations and formula. Hope you all get it. If you all have any doubts, you all can ask me. Is there something that which was not clear? Do you all have any questions? Do you all have any questions? Is it clear? Well, thank you so much for joining for the session. And if you all have any doubts, you all can drop message in the WhatsApp group of the seminar. And thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.